Jose Castro Carmona yesterday in front of the microphone he said that Juventus will not be happy to face the king of Europa League. I will contradict the president of Sevilla immediately. I am happy to face the king of Europa League. I am happy to face Sevilla. I am happy to face a team in a European semi-final. I am happy to play a Europa League semi-final. I am happy that I received the opportunity to play 2 games, 180 minutes that can possibly lead me to the final, facing Roma or Leverkusen with one objective in mind. Silverware, European silverware, and possibly even on the field the qualification to the next Champions League. A Champions League that Juventus didn't deserve to play. A semi-final of Champions League like yesterday, Euro Derby della Madonnina, that Juventus didn't deserve to play on the field. But we deserve to play a European semi-final. Yes, we did, because we have beaten the French Nantes, we have beaten the German Freiburg, we have beaten the Portuguese Sporting, and this evening we have possibly the first part of beating a Spanish team that can lead us to play against a German or an Italian team in the final of Europa League. Yes, this evening we deserved it, on the field but also off the field, because a season like this was really painful. Since the beginning of the season until today, until probably the end of the season, they have thrown so many dirt on Juventus' name, from off the field and on the field, with journalists writing articles every single day about our beloved Juventus, and not in a positive day. They continue to throw on our name, and this is not acceptable. Us, Juventini, we don't deserve it. So we have the opportunity today to be happy, because we are playing a semi-final of a European competition. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Juventus Sevilla, first act we start. I want to speak about on the field. In the end, we will speak a little about Giuntoli, we will speak a little about the -15 and all the Prisma investigation. But first of all, let's speak about on the field, because this matters this evening. This matters today. So we have, first of all, Allegri yesterday in press conference that said that we have built a shield, we have built an armor, because this season, after everything that happened, we come back stronger out of it, and we are ready for the game of this evening. We know that we have to make abstraction of everything they said, but actually they made us stronger. Juventini, let me know if you became stronger out of this season, if you are ready to play a game like today, an important one like today. And probably the last time that we will wear our 22-23 home shirt, because from Sunday against Cremonese, the rumors are saying that we will have already the new shirt, a new shirt that is there to bring hope, a new light, a new vision, new things to speak about Juventus, already projecting to the future. But first, this evening, honoring the 22-23 home shirt. How will we play? Nobody knows. Yesterday evening at midnight, Giovanni Albanese didn't tweet or didn't write about the predicted lineup. Neither did Romeo Agresti, because there are a lot of doubts. Or maybe Max Allegri is planning to surprise Sevilla. A 4-3-3. According to Tuttosport, with Alessandro, Danilo, Bonucci, Quadrado in defense, but the magic trio up front, Chiesa, Di Maria, Vlahovic. The midfield is the one that is confirmed by every single pages, or at least 2 out of 3, with Rabiot and Locatelli sure to start the game. Question mark about Fagioli. There is Gazzetta dello Sport that is reporting an old-fashioned 3-5-2 with Alessandro, Bonucci, Danilo in defense. We know it. Bremer is still suffering from a slightly small muscle injury. Kostic, Quadrado on the wings, Rabiot, Locatelli, and this time with Miretti behind Di Maria and Vlahovic, with Federico Chiesa on the bench. Let me know in the comment which one you prefer, which one you think that Max Allegri will use this evening, or maybe even a change, maybe seeing Gatti in the center of the defense. Let me know, I'm really curious, and don't forget, as you did in the past days, and it really works, and I really appreciated it. I really want to thank you. Maximum of likes. Subscribe to the channel. We continue with how the Spanish papers are speaking about Juventus, at least one, the big one of Andalusia, that are speaking about Betis Sevilla and Sevilla, the one that we will play this evening against. Sarà perché ti amo. It will be because I love you. Why are they saying that? Because it comes from a famous song, an Italian song. Look it up. Well, Sarà perché ti amo. Who are they speaking about? About the Allianz Stadium? About Juventus? Absolutely not. They are speaking about the cup because they love that cup. They are the team that is like a Real Madrid in Champions League, that is always winning that competition. They are speaking about a really disastrous season for Sevilla, but this season they believe in going to the final, and it starts in the Allianz Stadium with a smile on the face of the Sevilla supporters. We will have to make sure that we understand how they are playing to avoid them to smile. How are they playing? In 4 acts. Well, their strong points is the fact that not always they are building from the back, but they are playing with long balls, trying to find their centravanti, El Nesiri, that is the striker of Sevilla. If not, they build from back with 1-2 passes, and then they go immediately with long balls. We will have to pay attention, not always to play the offside, but really man marking him. Then the crosses, they are really strong in going on the sides, on the wing, on the left and on the right, using that skill. Crosses into the box, where they are able with 3-4 players to fill the box. Another strong point of Sevilla is the fact that they are really high in pressing with El Nesiri, that is going on the defenders, so building from the back, yes, but pay attention because they go immediately in pressing the one that is holding the ball. One weakness, and a big one, especially because this is one of our strengths, is the fact that when they are attacking, they leave big spaces behind. Big spaces that if Juventus is able to do what we did in the last minute of Atalanta Juve, going with Federico Chiesa and Dusan Vlahovic, we can punish them there. That doesn't mean that we have to wait too much. We have to do the same games as we did versus Bologna. Not the result, but the game. The Lecce game, the Atalanta game. That means Juventus playing. But when we manage, being aware that they are leaving a lot of spaces and trying to punish them there. We continue, guys, with El Re Emery, the King Emery, because if Sevilla is the king of Europa League, well, Emery is the king of Europa League. He will not be the coach of Sevilla this evening, but he speaks about the strength of Sevilla, the fact that he will support Sevilla, obviously, but he says when you have a player like Di Maria in these kind of games, well, Di Maria is winning these games. Well, Di Maria yesterday he spoke in front of the microphones in press conference. Tutto Sport is saying, Juve Di Maria, avanti tutta, we continue, we want to continue, or at least these were the words of Di Maria that said, if you want to, I stay here. He didn't say it really like that, but yesterday he confirmed 3 times, because 3 times he received a question about his renewal, about his future in Bianconero, and every time he said, I am happy in this team. The people that work behind the scene, in the background, they are fantastic human beings. Not only me, I am happy, but also my family. We are all happy in Torino. After the season, we will have a decision. We'll take a decision, but as you already know, because he said that the journalists are really well informed, he said, as you already know, we already started to speak with the management. A lot will, of course, depend of the future. Will we play a European competition, yes or no? But not really on the side of Di Maria, because Di Maria said yesterday, for me, it's not so crucial, so important to play the Champions League, but maybe from the side of Juventus. Will Juventus have the enough resources to continue to play and to pay, especially a player like the Argentinian World Cup winner? We continue, guys. How are the Spanish papers speaking about the game of today between an Italian and a Spanish team in Europa League? Well, Mundo is focusing on the goodbyes of some players from Barcelona, and then in really small they are saying El Sevilla a firmar otro bombazo en Turin. They are convinced Sevilla is going to go with a really big bombazo, with a big result in Turin. Not big result, but in terms of goals scored, but big result in terms of victory in Turin. Then you have Marca, not speaking a lot, but really in small, a dar el primer paso hacia la final, to give in Torino the first step towards the final. And then you have us that is speaking about survive in Torino and kill them in the Nervion Stadium in Sevilla. The 3 pages, they are convinced that today Sevilla will win. They are all of them convinced. Well, we have to make sure that that smile, like the first pages were saying, that we avoid to give them on their face. We need to smile. We deserve to smile this evening. As is speaking about historico and heroico. What does it mean? Historical and a hero. A hero team is speaking about basketball, but I want to speak about our hero, Alessandro Del Piero, that during Real Madrid, Manchester City, had a really fun game with Phil Foden, that was actually warming up, and then he looked at Alessandro Del Piero and said, come and play. Well, guys, it's not possible anymore, unfortunately, but you can't know what I would pay to say to Alex Del Piero this evening, come and play with us that semi-final of Europa League. Corriere dello Sport, are they speaking about Juventus? Well, they're speaking about yesterday Inter, a fantastic win for the Nerazzurri. Actually, Milan can be really happy that it's only 2-0. They demolished them, but really seriously. I told you, unfortunately, it's hard for me to say, but since a few weeks I told you, I believe that Inter will win it. That will win not only the Derby della Madonnina, the semi-final of Champions League, but they also have big chances to win the Champions League. Well, yesterday they confirmed that first part, only 2-0, everything is possible, but they took a big advantage. Gazzetta dello Sport, Inter is flying, and then assalti finale with the Italian team that are trying to go to the final. I repeat, it's not only Juve, but it's also Roma that is going in, and then there is Fiorentina in the Conference League. How about Giuntoli? Because Gazzetta dello Sport on their first page are also speaking about the method of Giuntoli, the new method of Giuntoli. What made sure that Juventus fell in love with the sporting director that is closer and closer and closer to Juventus? Well, 4 different points. The first one, the fact that he has a really great relationship with his coaches, from Sarri to Spalletti, that are total different coaches in terms of human being, but the fact that he's always speaking with them, having meetings with them, is also helping that feeling, that relationship to grow. Second point is the fact that he's courageous on the mercato. He dares a lot, even if it's a lot of money on some players, like Osimhen with a lot of money invested on him, or Milik at the time with 32 million, that was at the time unknown. Well, it's someone that is taking responsibility on the mercato. 3, the importance of the scouting. Well, we all know that scouting is important, and Juventus did a great work in the last year, but this is something that Giuntoli is doing really, really well. We know it had players like Elmas, Lobotka, Kvaratskhelia that he and his team were able to find all around the world, because he's following step by step every single mercato, and that's a really great point. And then maybe one that Juventus needed a lot is the ability to sell. The ability to sell some players like Koulibaly at 40 million, Alan at 25 million. Well, that ability is what Juventus is really looking for, because we will have, I told you, a lot of work. The last news before stopping the video of today is that we will know how many points will be deducted from Juventus on the 22nd of May. Controversial again, because it's the day that Juventus is playing against Empoli. They couldn't wait the day after. No, they had to do it the day that Juventus was playing, just to make a bit sure that Juventus is a bit in trouble before the game. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm cursed. It will be apparently on to the 22nd of May. We have how much? 11 days to wait, and we will know how many we will be deducted. 15, 9, 23, 25, enough for being out of the Champions League. Bah, let's discover it, but let's forget about it today. Today it's one thing only: Juve, Sevilla. Predictions, if you're still there, predictions in the comment section. Grazie, forza, Juve.